Hello and welcome everybody. This is day 4 of our 2024-25 NFL season predictions. We are going through the NFC South today. We're going to start off right here with the worst team in the division, number 4, the Carolina Panthers. Let's start going through their schedule here. I have them losing week 1 to the Saints, then coming back and getting 2 wins here against the Chargers and Raiders. And you're going to see those are probably the only wins they're going to get for a little while here, as they're going to go up through week 11 to the bye, and they're going to lose on a losing streak from week 4 to week 10 against the Bengals, the Bears, the Falcons, the Commanders, the Broncos, the Saints, the Giants. And I think they can beat some of these teams. It depends on how Bryce Young does. I just don't think we've seen enough for him to make a definitive answer saying, like, oh, he can beat Daniel Jones. I think, he might, if he gets better, he's got a better supporting cast. But can he outduel Daniel Jones now? I don't think Daniel Jones is that good, but I haven't seen anything out of Bryce Young that says he will. I'm not predicting him to, so we'll see. That means they go 2-8 into their bye week. Not that good. I don't exactly remember their record last year, but it's probably along the same lines. I don't think they actually had a win going into their bye. They're going to come back with some more losses, which makes it from week 4 to week 15 straight of losses against the Chiefs now, the Buccaneers, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. Those are some hard games that I don't know if you'd expect them to win even with a good Bryce Young playing. Then I see them beating the Cardinals in week 16. I think you can probably, that might be an upset. It depends on how the Cardinals are doing at the time, too. I think that's definitely a very winnable game. You got back-to-back divisional games here against the Buccaneers and the Falcons. I think the Panthers will lose both of them, which will give them a 3-14 record, 0-6 in their division, and they're 15th in the conference. Not the worst. Stay tuned for that. 3rd in the division here. This might be a shocker since they won it last year, but I have the Buccaneers going 3rd in the division. And you'll see they're not a bad team. They start out hot. They're going to go 4-1 in their first 5 games. They're going to beat the Commanders, lose to the Lions, beat the Broncos, beat the Eagles again, like they did in the playoffs, and then they're going to beat the Falcons in that divisional game there. That can always go a little crazy. That's their first one of the year. They have another divisional game after that where they lose to the Saints, and then they're going to lose to the Ravens and Falcons and Chiefs and 49ers. A losing streak here going into the bye for the Buccaneers. So that's going to give them about 4 wins and 6 losses going into their bye. They're going to be 4-6 going into their bye. I actually like this team. I think Baker's going to do pretty good. I think Mike Evans is going to be doing pretty good. I like their defense, for the most part. And, most of the offense is still pretty good. But they've got, they got the Chiefs and the 49ers in back-to-back weeks there, on top of already playing the Ravens, playing a better Falcons team that you get Kirk Cousins coming. He's coming off injury, They've got a good Saints team with Derek Carr. They're going to be better this year. They've got Chris Olave still. But that gives them 4-6 going into their bye. I do see them coming back here with a lot easier of a schedule coming off the bye and getting 4 wins right off the bat. Getting the Giants, the Panthers, the Raiders, and the Chargers. And all of a sudden now, they're 8-6. So they're right back in that conversation for the division and everything. Unfortunately for them, I think they lose the next week to the Cowboys. They beat the Panthers. And then here's a game that could really decide the division. As you'll see, we got a really close division here. I have them losing to the Saints, which is the reason why they're sitting at 3rd in the division. The Buccaneers go 9-8, 3-3 in their division, with a conference rank of 10. Which doesn't obviously mean, but we have the New Orleans Saints here. Could be a shocker. New Orleans Saints, 2nd place, which obviously means you know who the division winner is. But I have the Saints doing a little flip-floppy here in the first couple weeks. They beat the Panthers, lose to the Cowboys, beat the Eagles in maybe a shocker. They're going to lose here to the Falcons, Chiefs, back-to-back. Then they're going to beat the Buccaneers and the Broncos before they lose to the Chargers, beat the Panthers, lose to the Falcons, and Browns going into their bye week, which gives them 5 wins and 6 losses going into their bye week. Obviously not the best, but I think that's probably where you're going to see them around 500 too with their division and their strength of schedule. They're going to come back, lose to the Rams, but start their playoff push here. They're going to win 4 of their last 5 games. They're going to beat the Giants, the Commanders. They're going to lose to the Packers, beat the Raiders, and then that game, like I said, that's going to be must-watch TV because that could decide the division at the Buccaneers. They're going to win. The Saints will win that game. They're going to end the season 9-8 with a divisional record of 4-2, and they're going to miss the playoffs too. Conference rank of 9, so there are going to be a lot of teams stacked there at the end. But our first team in the division, you guessed it. Well, you might not have guessed it, but it's going to be the Falcons. It's going to be the Falcons. They have a rejuvenated team, and it's not going to look that way right off the bat because you're going to see them go 1-4 their first 5 games. They're going to lose to the Steelers, the Eagles, the Chiefs, but they're going to beat the Saints, that division game, and lose to the Buccaneers. That's actually their only divisional loss, which kind of propels them to that division win. So, after being 1-4, they're going to come off and they're going to beat the Panthers. They're going to lose to the Seahawks, beat the Buccaneers, lose to the Cowboys, beat the Saints, lose to the Broncos. So you're going to see they're going to win these divisional games and drop those other ones. I guess they're kind of built, I think, to beat that division. With that rejuvenated offense, you got an actual QB now. They have a very talented roster. I think they can do stuff. That brings them into their bye week with 4 wins and 7 losses. They're going to lose here to the Chargers right off the bye week at week 13. But then they're going to go on a crazy win streak to really put them in that division race. They're going to beat the Vikings, beat the Raiders, beat the Giants, beat the Commanders, and beat the Panthers in the game that ultimately gets them that division. Because if they lose to the Panthers, it's going to be the Saints or the Buccaneers, whoever wins that game. It's really going to come down to the final week, I think, of this division. Because this division, their schedules are hard up top, but you'll see a lot of them. Like I said, they've got the easier schedules down at the bottom. I have the Falcons also going 9-8, so 3 teams going 9-8 in this division, but the Falcons went 5-1 in their division. And they can afford, because you have the Saints here at 4-2, the Buccaneers at 3-3. That's really the difference maker here. They have, obviously, the conference rank of 4, maybe not in the schedule, but that's their playoff position. I have them going 9-8. It's going to be a really close division, and I think you can't really go wrong with predicting any one of those 3 teams to win. I think it's more likely to be the Falcons, then the Buccaneers, then the Saints, but I would not be surprised to see any of those 3 in. That's going to do it for our NFC South predictions. Come back tomorrow for day 5 of predictions. We only got 4 divisions left, then a playoffs and draft standings video. So, thank you for listening. We'll talk soon. Peace.